I've been navigating the options market for, well, decades now, and I still remember how overwhelming it felt starting out.
Oh, yeah.
There's just so much noise, right? So many promises all over your feed, and it's really, really tough to figure out what's genuine value and what's just marketing hype.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been there, I think. Just trying to find something that actually works without getting totally lost.
And that's exactly why we're digging into this today.
Yeah.
Our mission really is to help you cut through all that noise,
Right.
to help you understand what truly makes a superior options trading alert service. We're definitely not talking about get-rich-quick nonsense or, chasing those impossible moonshots.
No.
Instead, our focus is squarely on finding reliable, rules-based trade alerts, the kind with clearly defined risk, designed for consistent, sustainable returns.
Yeah.
We genuinely believe that institutional discipline, that kind of structured approach, it really should be the foundation for anyone serious about options. And that's the core idea we'll be exploring today.
Absolutely. And when you first start exploring options, or heck, even if you've been doing it for a bit,
Yeah.
the sheer number of alert groups and gurus and these auto trading platforms, it's staggering.
It is. It's everywhere.
It makes it incredibly hard for traders, for you to see what's real value and what's just smoke and mirrors. From what we've seen, what traders really want, what you probably want deep down, is something simple, something effective, and crucially trustworthy.
Right. Less time sorting through junk, more time seeing actual results, verifiable ones.
Exactly.
And that really hits the core problem we see again and again with so many alert services out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's often this major lack of transparency. Almost no real risk controls being talked about, let alone implemented.
Right. Just promises.
Yeah, far too many promises of those huge but often, fleeting returns instead of focusing on steady, consistent growth. And what's really concerning,
That's it.
how many of them don't even have a verifiable track record you can actually look at and scrutinize?
Yeah, just claims.
It's such a stark contrast to the commitment to risk management, consistency, and finding that repeatable edge that, we lived and breathed on Wall Street for years.
It really is a fundamental difference in philosophy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That gap between the flashy marketing and what actually works long term.
Precisely.
So look, after 2 decades of trading experience across institutional desks, retail platforms, lots of trial and error personally,
Lots of lessons learned.
we've hammered out a pretty clear framework, we think, for evaluating these services. We've landed on 5 crucial criteria for what makes a great options alert service.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, a good system doesn't just help you win big once in a while, it helps you stay in the game.
Yeah.
Consistently, for the long haul.
Exactly. And let's break down each of these 5 pillars because the details here really, really matter.
Okay.
First, and maybe the most critical thing for any trader, especially if you're just starting out, is clearly defined risk and reward.
Right. Know your downside. Absolutely. You should never have to guess how much you could potentially lose on any given trade. The best services, the ones we trust, exclusively use what we call defined risk strategies.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
It means trades where your maximum possible loss and also your maximum possible profit are both known before you even click the button to enter the trade.
Ah, okay. Like what?
Well, think of strategies like a credit spread.
Yeah.
That's where you sell one option and buy another one with a different strike price, specifically to cap your potential loss.
Got it.
Or maybe an iron condor, which kind of combines 2 of those vertical spreads to cap both your risk and your potential reward.
So no surprises.
No surprises, no naked calls where your losses could theoretically, run wild. With defined risk, your capital's protected within known limits. That clarity is huge.
Oh, the clarity, yeah. Knowing your downside up front, that's massive, especially when you're building confidence. Okay, what's pillar number 2?
Right. Next up, consistent data-backed results. And here's a really important distinction you need to grasp. Backtested is just not the same thing as proven.
Explain that.
Well, backtests are simulations, right? They run historical data through a strategy. They can look fantastic on paper, maybe show incredible
Oh,
returns,
you've seen those charts.
but they might completely fall apart in real, live market conditions.
Yeah.
What you need to look for are services that publish their real-world historical performance, not just cherry-picked winning screenshots or, hypothetical paper trades.
Real money results.
Real money results. For instance, when we built Advanced AutoTrades, we were obsessive about tracking. We've got 12 years of verified results for both our weekly and monthly strategies, and 3 years of live real money results for our weekly premium service.
Wow, 12 years.
Yeah, the takeaway here is simple. Consistency absolutely demolishes hype every single time. It's about finding something that works repeatedly, not just hitting one lucky shot.
That's such a critical point. Anyone can get lucky once, right? But can they repeat it through up markets, down markets, choppy markets? Which kind of leads nicely into your third point, trade frequency that fits your schedule.
Yes, this is vital, because the best service in the world isn't the best service for you if it doesn't align with your actual life.
Right. Your time, your risk tolerance.
Your capital base, how much hands-on time you want to spend. Do you have the time or even the desire to manage, say, 5 trades a week?
Or would you rather have something simpler?
Or would you prefer maybe just one really high-conviction trade per month? Some traders love that faster rhythm of weekly SPY or SPX spreads.
Those are the S&P 500 options, right?
Exactly. Options on the big index or the ETF tracking it. While others, maybe they prefer a single SPX position with a more favorable, say, 1 to 2 payoff profile that requires much less active management.
So it really depends on the person.
It absolutely comes down to what fits your lifestyle and how involved you realistically want to be.
Okay. And that seems to tie into the fourth pillar.
It does, very directly. Pillar 4 is broker integration and automation.
Ah, the tech side.
Yeah, because we've learned the hard way sometimes. Yeah. A great trade idea, a good signal, it's really only half the battle. Execution is immensely important.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the trade placed right.
And the top services today, they offer seamless automated trading, often through APIs with brokers like Tradier or Interactive Brokers.
So the alert comes in and the trade just happens.
Pretty much. The alert triggers and the trade can be placed in your account automatically based on your settings. Now, this isn't just about speed, though speed helps.
What's the bigger benefit then?
It's about removing the psychological pitfalls. Think about it. FOMO, that fear of missing out.
Yeah.
The temptation to chase a losing trade hoping it turns around. The urge to just ditch your rules because you feel something different today.
Guilty is charged sometimes.
We all are. Automation takes that human error, that emotional element, right out of the execution process. It enforces the discipline that is just so crucial for long-term success. That sounds like a genuine game changer for people, like me sometimes, who struggle with that emotional side of trading. Okay, brings us to number 5.
The final pillar, and honestly, it's completely non-negotiable. Transparency and trust.
Gotta have it.
Absolutely. If a service is hiding its performance numbers or its risk metrics or even its fees, our advice is pretty blunt. Run. Just walk away.
Yeah, red flag.
Huge red flag. You deserve... No. You need full transparency.
Yeah.
That means easy access to their historical win rates, their average risk-to-reward ratios.
Actual stats.
The actual stats.
Yeah.
Clearly defined criteria for how they even find their trades.
Yeah.
And easy access to, like, real live support or a detailed FAQ section that answers genuine questions, not just marketing spin.
Right.
When you put all 5 of these pillars together, defined risk, proven results, right frequency, automation, and transparency, it suddenly becomes much, much easier to separate the real signal from all that noise.
Yeah.
And that's precisely why we built our whole approach at Advanced AutoTrades around these core principles.
You know, it's interesting. I didn't actually set out years ago to build an alert service myself.
Right. Your background was different.
Yeah, I started as a prop trader on Wall Street.
Yeah.
And back then, success wasn't about, internet buzz or how many followers you had.
That was a P&L.
Exactly. It was about fundamental risk management, finding consistency, and developing a truly repeatable edge, something that worked day in, day out.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, as I moved into managing my own capital, mentoring private traders, it really struck me.
What was that?
The tools available to most retail traders, they were either way too risky, incredibly noisy and distracting, or just flat out unreliable.
Yeah, a lot of junk out there.
A lot.
Yeah.
And even using those 5 pillars we just talked about, finding a service that genuinely delivered on all of them without cutting corners, it often felt like, searching for a unicorn.
Yeah. A rare beast.
It was this massive gap in the market. And we realized, wait a minute, there's a real need here, a chance to give retail traders something genuinely better, something disciplined.
And that's exactly how Advanced AutoTrades came about.
Yeah.
We were just frustrated, honestly, with all the noise and hype.
Yeah.
And we made a commitment to bring that Wall Street level discipline, that structure, directly to the retail trading world.
So what are those core principles for AAT?
They're simple, really,
Yeah.
and they directly address those gaps we found. First, we focus only on defined risk spreads,
Right.
the same kind of strategies institutions use, not the kind of stuff degenerate gamblers play with.
Okay, sensible stuff.
Second, proven strategies, things that have shown they work across different market cycles, backed by years and years of real, tracked data.
Not just back tests.
Definitely not just backtests. Third, automation is key. We offer automated execution through broker APIs, specifically so traders don't have to sit glued to a screen all day. It removes that emotional trigger point.
Takes the pressure off.
Exactly. And finally, full performance accountability, live metrics, transparent tracking, with a constant focus on compounding capital steadily over time, not just chasing home runs.
So it signals themselves. Easy to follow.
Designed to be. Easy to follow, backed by, like we said, over 12 years of live results for the core strategies, and carefully matched to different risk levels and typical account sizes.
Okay, so building on that, you guys developed 3 distinct strategies within Advanced AutoTrades, right? Each kind of tailored.
Yeah, exactly. Each one is designed to match different experience levels, different appetites for risk, and even how much time you realistically have available. The idea is there should be something that fits you, whether you're just starting out or you're managing a much larger account.
All right, let's hear about them. What's the first one?
Okay, first up is weekly trend. Now, this one's really perfect for traders who have maybe small to mid-sized accounts, and they're looking for higher growth weekly setups. They want to compound pretty aggressively.
Okay, more active. What's the strategy?
It uses at-the-money, SPY, or SPX credit spreads. At the money just means the strike price is really close to where the market is trading right now.
Gotcha. And how often?
You could see up to 5 trades in a week. But the key is the minimum risk per trade is just $50. It's defined risk, always.
Only $50 risk. Wow.
Yeah, makes it accessible. Historically, it's had a win rate around 60% with a straightforward 1-to-1 risk reward.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, it's got that 12-year verified track record behind it.
And the returns?
The average annual return over those 12 years has been 235.35%. Significant compounding if you stick with it.
That's pretty incredible compounding for folks wanting to be active weekly. But what about someone maybe busier? Someone who prefers a more hands-off approach, like that doctor you mentioned.
Exactly. For them, we design monthly trend. This is absolutely ideal for, say, retirement-focused investors or maybe more risk-averse traders. And it's excellent for beginners, too, because it's low maintenance, high efficiency.
Okay, what's the trade there?
It's typically a single SPX bull-put spread each month. A bull put means you're selling a put option and buying another one lower down.
Right.
Basically betting that the S&P 500 will stay above a certain level. It's defined risk, of course.
And frequency, just once a month.
Just one trade per month, typically. The minimum risk per position is higher, around $500 per month. But the historical win rate is solid at about 55%.
Okay, and the risk reward?
Here's the key difference. It targets a favorable 1-to-2 risk-to-reward ratio, meaning you're aiming to make about double the potential profit for every dollar you risk on the trade.
Ah, higher payout per winner.
Exactly. Better payout when it works. It also have that 12-year verified track record,
Yeah.
and the average annual return has been 115.53%. It's really built for simplicity and peace of mind, focusing on consistent, long-term growth.
Makes sense. One trade, higher potential payout, less hassle. Okay, what about the third one? For maybe more seasoned traders or folks with bigger accounts.
Right. That brings us to weekly premium. This is tailored for experienced traders or even active manual traders who really want those high-confidence setups with powerful risk-adjusted performance.
Okay, sounds serious. What's the strategy?
This one focuses on SPX iron condors, which, as we discussed, cap both your risk and your reward by combining 2 vertical spreads. Gives you a defined profit zone.
And frequency here?
Typically just 1 trade per week. It does require a slightly higher minimum starting balance, usually around $1,000.
And the win rate?
This is where it really shines. The historical win rate is impressive. It's over 90%.
90% plus.
Wow. This one has a 3-year verified track record. It's a newer refinement, and its average annual return has been 100.76%. It's really built for traders who value that high precision, that consistency, with minimal time input, especially if they use the automation.
Okay, so 3 very different approaches, but what's the common thread?
The common thread across all of them is what we've been talking about. Full transparency, always defined risk, and results that are actually verified over years.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's the kind of reliable, trustworthy alert service I really wish I'd had access to when I first struck out on my own trading independently.
Me too. Knowing my risk up front, having that data-backed consistency, and especially the option for automation, And that would have made a world of difference, really, and saved a lot of stress.
We can talk about the performance numbers and the strategies all day long.
Sure.
But sometimes the most valuable insights really come straight from the people who are actually using the service week in, week out.
Real traders, real experiences.
Exactly. These are folks who came to us with different goals, different backgrounds, but they've stuck with the approach for one simple reason. They're getting results they can genuinely trust.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those. Like Sarah M., the doctor you mentioned, using monthly trend.
Right. She told us very clearly she wanted one simple trade a month I could rely on. Her priorities were low stress, clear risk, and solid returns. That just perfectly captures the goal of that strategy for someone busy who needs consistency without constant babysitting.
Totally makes sense for a doctor. Okay, who else?
Then there's Jason T. He's a weekly premium subscriber, and he actually started with just $1,000 in his account.
Using the high win rate one.
Yeah. He shared that he achieved over 90% win rate trades without having to lift a finger, thanks to the automation. And for him, he said it felt like institutional-grade automation for the retail guy.
Leveling the playing field a bit.
Exactly. It highlights how automation can really democratize access to these more sophisticated, disciplined strategies.
Nice. And Daniel R. weekly trend.
Yep, Daniel R. on Weekly Trend. He said he found a repeatable edge I couldn't find elsewhere. He specifically mentioned automating his trades through Tradier now, and his bottom line was simply, the results speak for themselves. These stories, they really underline that common theme we hear from subscribers. They're trading now with more confidence, definitely less stress, and ultimately achieving better outcomes, all because they have defined risk signals they can actually trust.
It's really about empowering people, isn't it? Giving them the tools to trade smarter, not just harder or more anxiously.
Precisely. At the end of the day, it really boils down to your individual needs, your goals, what you're actually looking for in your trading journey. We designed these 3 distinct services, specifically to cater to those different styles, risk tolerances, and time commitments, hopefully making the decision process much clearer for you.
Okay, so let's try and summarize that. Help the listener figure out which path might be right for them.
Sounds good.
So if you're maybe a beginner or perhaps a more passive trader, you're really looking for simplicity, low maintenance. Which one's for you?
Then our monthly trend is almost certainly your best fit. It's just one low-risk SPX trade per month. It's got that favorable 1 to 2 risk-reward aiming for bigger wins, and it's backed by that solid 12 years of verified performance. It's about as close to set-it-and-forget-it friendly as you can get in options.
Okay, makes sense. Now, what if you're more growth-focused? You're okay with a bit more activity, moderate risk tolerance. Maybe you want to compound that account faster.
Then Weekly Trend is definitely designed for you. Remember, those trades risk just $50 each, making it very accessible. It boasts that 60% historical win rate, and again, the 12-year track record shows consistent outperformance. It gives you that active engagement, that compounding potential, without being overly complex.
Right. Active, but manageable. And finally, if you're maybe an experienced trader already, perhaps you're managing a larger account, and you really value precision, consistency, those really high probability setups.
Then Weekly Premium is going to be your best option. That's the SPX Iron Condor strategy. It wins over 90% of the time historically, requires just 1 trade placement per week, and it can be fully automated for that truly hands-off, high-confidence experience.
And people can try these out, right?
Absolutely. We always recommend trying things out, maybe via free trial if available, just see what feels right for your specific style and comfort level. But the key is each strategy is clearly defined, it's transparently tracked, and they're all designed to be incredibly easy to implement, especially with the automation.
Okay. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But I think the core message, it really remains simple. When you're looking at options trading alerts, the importance of, number 1, defined risk.
Crucial.
Number 2, real verified results over time.
Non-negotiable.
And number 3, the power of automation to enforce discipline. Those things just cannot be overstated.
Couldn't agree more.
And while there are, countless services out there making big promises, very, very few actually offer that true transparency or can show real consistent results over the long haul.
Indeed. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening to consider.
Yeah.
In this world of just constant market noise, endless conflicting advice, how much value do you place on finding a system built not just to win occasionally, but to win sustainably, month after month, year after year,
Good question.
You'd really encourage you to just reflect on that. Think about what a truly disciplined approach, one that's backed by years of verifiable performance, could actually mean for your own financial journey. It's really about something much bigger than just one single trade. If you enjoyed this episode and want to stay ahead with fresh insights every other day, don't forget to hit that subscribe button or follow our podcast. We've got more exciting content coming your way, and we can't wait to have you back. See you soon.